English Leap Podcast.
From Learn English through real debates.
Welcome, everyone. Let's dive into our discussion about marriage options. This debate is really interesting. The most ideal thing is to compare religious marriage with civil marriage, right?
Absolutely. I see what you mean. We are looking at very different systems. So, let me ask, can you explain what religious marriage means in simple terms?
Sure, in simple terms, religious marriage has deep spiritual and cultural meaning. It is based on traditions and faith that people follow. These ceremonies connect couples to their history and beliefs, and, habits shape our behavior. For example, respect and commitment are seen as habits that grow from these traditions.
Okay, got it. And from my point of view, civil marriage is different. It is a legal contract recognized by the state. It protects equal rights for all couples, even if they have different academic backgrounds or beliefs. Right now, it is all about fairness and legal procedures.
I see. Religious marriage, even if it is traditional, still gives couples strong moral values. When people follow spiritual traditions, the more they practice these values, the more stable the marriage becomes. Let me tell you, it is like building a home with a strong foundation.
Interesting. In simple terms, civil marriage focuses on legal recognition. Instead of focusing on spiritual elements, it looks at clear rules and procedures. It outlines a system that all people can follow, regardless of their personal beliefs, right?
Exactly, but I must say religious marriage adds something extra. It brings community, shared rituals, and a sense of belonging. In simple terms, it is about more than just a contract. It is about faith and tradition.
I get that. But still, civil marriage gives a level playing field. The government makes sure that everyone is treated equally. It is, after all, meant to be fair that all rights are protected. For example, government policies about marriage laws ensure that there is academic research and scholarship available to review these matters.
Right. And I understand the importance of fairness. But let me explain. Religious marriage creates an environment for couples where the more they practice rituals, the more their relationship grows in trust and responsibility. Habits shape our lives, This connection is deeply rooted in culture.
Interesting. But then, what about couples who may not follow a particular faith? In simple terms, civil marriage is open to everyone. It does not depend on religion or academic background. That's why many people say the most ideal thing is a system where the government treats every couple the same.
I see your point. Religious marriage may not fit everyone, but it gives clear cultural meaning to many people. It is like a scholarship of tradition. It offers a strong support system. How can I say it gives a couple a moral compass for life?
I don't think so. To be honest, a legal union does not force one to follow any specific faith. Instead of dividing people by beliefs, civil marriage creates an environment where law and equality come first. Every step, even the legal procedures, helps protect rights for everyone.
But in other words, religious marriage is not just about rules. It offers a sense of community and shared values. For example, during ceremonies, traditions tell a story about the couple's journey. And this story, it builds a stable foundation. Exactly, right?
Okay, I understand that. Still, many people look for modern ideas. Civil marriage is often more flexible. Let me explain. Government policies about marriage can change to fit society. It makes marriage simple and fair, even if people come from different cultures.
That is true. However, from my point of view, traditions work well too. They give a clear outline of how to live together. In simple terms, the more couples follow spiritual traditions, the more their actions seem guided by moral values.
Well, let me tell you, the main point is fairness. With civil marriage, the rules are the same for everyone. There is no extra requirement based on academic background or personal beliefs. Isn't that really, really important?
Absolutely. Fairness is important. But let me say, religious marriage is also very honest about traditions. It provides a moral guideline that helps build strong habits. For example, Habits shape our daily life and even help couples to stay responsible and committed.
I hear you, but I must respectfully challenge that point. I don't think the moral values from religion always work for every couple. In simple terms, many people believe that a legal contract is more practical and direct, right?
Yeah, I get that. To be honest, it depends on personal beliefs. For some, traditions mean a lot. Even if civil marriage is fair, it does not provide that same connection to centuries of culture. And let me explain, in other words, while civil marriage is designed upfront to protect rights, it may sometimes miss the emotional side of marriage.
I understand, but think about it this way. The most ideal thing is to have a marriage system that works well for everyone. Civil marriage gives an equal structure, regardless of religion. It is like following academic research where rules are clear and simple. Exactly?
Yes, exactly. And religious marriage, in addition to tradition, provides support from community and faith. This is like having a clear scholarship of cultural values. It shows that marriage is not just a contract, but a tradition. In simple terms, it makes life richer.
All right, but I still believe that using a legal system is important. They outline procedures and govern the union with clear terms. You can have a strong emotional life without losing equality. The more the government provides clear guidelines, the more couples are protected.
I see, and that is interesting. However, note that religious marriage also has procedures, but they are more spiritual and cultural. For example, it involves rituals that are handed down from generation to generation. I mean, let me explain. These traditions can be like a blueprint for a long-lasting marriage.
I understand what you mean, but then again, a couple might choose civil marriage because it is neutral. In simple words, it does not require thinking about academic background or specific cultural symbols. It is clean, straightforward, and fair to all.
Sure. That is one way to see it. But, religious marriage can also be modern. Many traditions are evolving. They mix the old with the new. For example, some couples have both a civil ceremony and a religious one. That shows that traditions can work alongside legal rules.
That sounds good. I agree that some couples do both. However, in other words, if you add the simplicity and equality of laws, civil marriage seems more effective in today's society. In simple terms, it is like choosing a uniform design that fits everyone.
Yes, it is like that sometimes. But let me tell you, in our discussion, the more you learn about religious customs, the more you see their value. They give meaning and, yes, a special kind of responsibility. At least, that is how I view it.
Interesting point. I mean, on the other hand, civil marriage, with its legal framework, makes sure that rights are clear to everyone. It helps, for example, when couples need to prove their relationship for government benefits. Isn't that really practical?
Definitely practical. Yet, religious marriage gives a cultural background that many find comforting. It is like a warm tradition that many families enjoy. I mean, let me explain. It connects the past with the present.
I understand your view. Still, I must respectfully say that religious marriage may, at times, exclude people who do not follow a faith. In simple terms, civil marriage is for everyone, no matter who you are. That is why I think it is the better choice for a modern, diverse society.
I see your point, and I agree that diversity is important. However, note that for many, religious marriage gives a clear identity and a spiritual guide. In other words, it stays true to cultural roots, and, by the way, it offers a sense of history.
Okay, got it. But let me say, the main point is about fairness and equal treatment. The government keeps the rules same for all couples through civil marriage. It brings clarity. How can I say that seems very fair to me, right?
Right now, we see that both systems have their strengths. Religious marriage emphasizes cultural and spiritual meaning, while civil marriage underlines legal rights and equality. I mean, let me explain. Both methods have benefits for society.
Exactly. And you know, it depends on what someone values more. The rich traditions and clear commitments of religious marriage, or the equal treatment and legal protection of civil marriage. The more people understand each side, the more informed their decision is.
Absolutely. And as I was saying, Habits shape our lives. If couples follow strong traditions, they may build better habits of respect and commitment. Religious marriage stands as evidence of that. For example, shared rituals can reinforce family bonds.
And by the same token, civil marriage supports fairness in everyday life. It relies on clear legal procedures and academic research about family and society. This makes it a robust choice for many people looking for equality and clarity.
Right, and let's say both perspectives have value. You get a beautiful mix of tradition and modern law. Sometimes couples even choose both options, which can be seen as a kind of balance. In simple terms, they choose the best of both worlds.
Exactly. And the more choices people have, the better they can meet their needs. In other words, whether you choose a religious service or a civil contract, it should support a happy and fair partnership. That is why these debates are still ongoing in society.
Well, I think we have given some clear examples of both sides. For you, what is better, religious marriage or civil marriage? I mean, we have shared ideas of culture, law, and fairness in our discussion.
Yes, and now I want to ask you, dear listeners, for you, what is better, religious marriage or civil marriage? Think about the deep meaning in traditions versus the clear, equal rights provided by legal agreements.
Your progress doesn't end here. To keep improving your speaking and listening skills, explore more debates by clicking on the next video.